Please, Mother, would you please speak about why we need to protect ourselves?
There is this dance, this lila, that takes place. You can look at it as a sport between two teams. This is what takes place on this plane. And there is this constant battle for the soul. Whose soul? Your soul, my soul, everyone's soul. These dark forces have an agenda, and they are faithful to their orders. And their marching orders are destroy happiness, destroy harmony, destroy peace. Do not allow the light to flourish. Do not allow the light to multiply and illuminate others. Wherever there's light, wherever there's faith, wherever there's devotion, squish it, squash it. That's why you have governments, for example, that will immediately abolish any kind of worship of a god form. It's a threat to their control of the people, their dictatorship. So grand, so freeing is worship, is devotion. So threatening to the dark forces is your connection to the light. So therefore, imagine, this means that important is your connection to the light. For your sake, then you need to protect yourself and your light and your connection, because that connection is to the infinity. Infinite grace, infinite compassion for you and others, infinite healing, infinite bliss and joy, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, forgiveness, infinite. So we must continue this connection, you see. And when we don't, we suffer. Our soul suffers, we suffer, our health suffers, our prosperity suffers. But let us imagine it this way. You've got a temple and a fortress. And these dark forces are constantly trying to knock down the door. And they're trying to pummel it. And they're doing everything they can to attack it. You must remain faithful to its defense. Because the minute you decide, oh, I don't know if I should defend it. Oh, I don't feel like defending today. I had a rough night. Or I'd rather go and do this. Now, it's very easy for them to knock down the doors because your willpower is not there. Your focus is not there. So why do we need to protect ourselves? Because you've been given the sacred trust, this flame of light that is your soul. It's your essence. You're not the body. You're not the mind. You are the soul. It is the soul that goes from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. If it's your essence, would you ever want to give up a part of your essence, Gayatri?
No.
Can you imagine how horrible that must be if your essence was kidnapped and then kept prisoner? This is what happens. This is why we suffer. That's why someone, for example, that is locked down in an addiction, be it an addiction of stealing, harming, of drugs, of drink, whatever the addiction is, being a pathological liar, being a thief, whatever that addiction is, someone that has a lust demon, for example, attached. Addictions are addictions. When we are addicted, we could be addicted to food, the glutton demon. So we're addicted to that. It drives us into behavior that is against our pure, humble, radiant, loving soul essence. Our soul essence is in balance. It's pure balance. It's a balance that's even hard to describe. There really are no words to describe how golden that balance is. But it lives inside of us. But dark forces will move you to taint your soul. It's like, for example, again, you have your fortress, you have your temple, and there is a group that is throwing mud, maybe excrement on it. They're trying to make it stink. They're trying to knock holes in it. They're trying to dismantle it. So definitely they want to weaken it. Definitely your kingdom once upon a time had a shine and a sparkle, and it was known that, oh, this is the place of happiness and joy. Oh, these dark forces say, no, 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 we can't have that because that spreads. That's contagious. So we've got to put the clamp down on it. We've got to cover it. We've got to destroy it. We've got to make the people living in that kingdom forget they are golden beings. We've got to brainwash them. We've got to tell them they're worthless. They can't do anything. They're powerless. Only we have power. We, the dark forces of the universe. So that is why someone, when they're addicted, why do they continue to do it again and again? Now they know it's harmful. It feels terrible. The effects of it are terrible. So why would someone keep doing it? They experience then more attack through guilt and justification and through feeling lowly and feeling that they are ugly, because the dark forces want you to take on their ugliness. So they start to make you believe you're ugly. You don't matter. Nobody loves you. You're alone. They don't want you to feel connected to your ancestors and the ascended masters and the angels and archangels and the siddhas and the buddhas and all of these loving, compassionate beings. They want you to feel that you're a spiritual orphan. So why do we need to protect ourselves? Because none of that is any fun. It's horrible. We all know that. We've all been angry. Have you ever been like in a rage? Your heart hurts. You can feel you're so contracted. And have you ever been in love, flooded with joy, flooded with appreciation for something? And you're contemplating that and you're feeling like you're so blessed and you're just flooded with this light and lightness. And you are happy. And that feels so wonderful. Why do we need to protect ourselves? Because we want to feel that wonderful all the time, one part of it or another. And we don't want to get bogged down just as a car, as a caravan, as a vehicle. It doesn't go very far when it gets bogged down. When you're bogged down, you just spin your wheels and spin your wheels and spin your wheels. And that's what happens when people get into patterns of negative behavior thanks to the influence of dark forces. Well, again, the question was, why do we need to protect ourselves? Because that's the game here also. The game here is this. Just like, for example, in a game like soccer or football, you carry the ball. The objective is to carry the ball over to the goal line. Okay, or if you're a racer, a runner, you got to go to the finish line. Well, here you also have a goal line, and the goal line is enlightenment. When your soul was created, you were told you can live in this enlightened state, in this brilliant state. But to do so, don't do this, don't do that. Don't taint yourself this way. Don't taint. If a force comes to you and tempts you, tries to tempt you with this or that, and you can discern it's not good for you, if it's unholy, if it's heavy, if it's concrete-like, if it's slimy, it's like going to taint you and make you stink, don't do it. Yet the soul loves to take on challenges. The soul loves a good story, a good adventure. And the soul, the original soul essence, believes I can eventually, even if I get bogged down, eventually, one day, I will be back on track. That's why we have these soul adventures. That's why we've gone through so many incarnations. The original soul essence believes that in the end it will still reach enlightenment. And I believe that also, that every soul will one day reach enlightenment sooner or later. It might take X number of incarnations, but it's going to happen for everyone. However, along the way, can get scary, can get very sad. Have you ever been scared?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Have you ever felt sad?
Yes.
And have you ever felt separate from the divine?
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens along the road, along the journey. But we're not meant to stay bogged down. There is so much compassion in the universe for us that we have a whole spirit team that is there for us and urging us to keep going and get up, fight, get your sword of light. You have a sword of light. You can utilize it. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for the light. Stand up for what is good. Stay away from that which is destructive of your light, diminishing of your light, depleting of your light. So why do we need to protect ourselves? Because we do have that original soul promise that we made, which was to always live in enlightenment. That is our goal. That is our finish line. That's what we're going for. And so in life, You have master after master after master, and every lifetime you've lived in, no matter how dark that age might have been in some lifetimes, there were masters on the planet. There were masters radiating light for everyone. Oh, dear ones, there is so much compassion flooding towards you at all times. There always has been. So why must you protect yourself? Because others, your spirit team, your light team is working for your upliftment, and you've got to do your part. That's your part. That's your soul part. That's your soul agreement. You agreed with your spirit team. I'm going to go to Earth. It's going to get rough. It's going to get sometimes confusing, but my team is with me and I'm going to do my part. When you don't make the effort to protect your spirit, you're not doing your part. And again, your soul suffers. Do you want to suffer? No, right? Nobody does. Not really. However, if we are asleep, if we have not developed strength and we are weak, then it is very easy for those slick dark forces to convince us of this or that. So yes, you do need to protect yourself. Yes, it is your soul duty to yourself, your duty to your light, to your bright, brilliant light, which is going to allow you to be your very best, your very highest, your very purest. And if you've not experienced that, I'm going to tell you right now, take this from me. That is fantastic. I love it. I love it. It's a radiant feeling that's beyond description. You got to get enlightened, okay? Chop, chop, chop. You just got to do it. Indeed. So yes, we do need to protect ourselves. That's your number one assignment. And if you do that, everything else will flow better for you.
Kali